Welcome back to Insightful Healing. I'm Amira. Thanks for joining me. Whether you are catching this live or watching it back, so glad you made it here. However you made it here. Let's check in. One hand on the heart space, one hand in the depths of the belly, near the sacral chakra. Feet on the surface beneath you if you're able and capable, and eyes closed if you're feeling safe. We're going to take 3 grounding breaths, breathing in new, fresh, cleansing, revitalizing energy, and exhaling what doesn't serve us with intention. At one point, it may have served us, it may have supported us, it may have been what we needed, but all things are not meant to last forever, especially energy. It cycles. And so we're breathing in. And exhale. 2 more just like that. Wherever you are, whatever you're experiencing, I hope that you woke up feeling safe and protected and capable and all the things that you're needing. That does lead me to my check-in question. What do you need today? And what are you going to do to obtain it? What do you need today? And what are you going to do to obtain it? I'll start. I'll go first, as always, right? I need rest. I need rest. Rest looks different for each of us. I'm sure there's a definition that Merriam-Webster would throw out, or that we could come together, bring our heads together and identify as being rest. But rest does not have to be sleep. It does not have to be REM sleep specifically. Sometimes rest looks like a lack of productivity, right? Choosing not to be productive or not to focus on productivity. Sometimes it looks like taking something off your schedule that normally would be on there, or that you can't account for in your energy on today. For me, and I'm looking forward to it, 2 things. The first thing that I need and that I'm going to do, well, rest. is what I need. But the first thing I'm going to do to obtain rest is my yoga practice. And again, as I said, rest looks different for each of us, right? Yoga is lots of movement, lots of paying attention in my brain, so on and so forth. But it creates a sense of rest for me. And then after my yoga practice, the second thing I'm really looking forward to, which I will do to obtain what I need in rest, is I'm going to take me a bath. I'm going to take a bath, and I'm looking forward to it. So yoga and bath time, that's going to be my way to obtain what I need today. Looking forward to hearing what it is that you may identify as what you need today and how you will obtain it. How you will obtain it. I don't have any intuitive messages, so we're just going to flow along with the energy and see what comes out. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some cards. I kind of want to start with the tarot today, and so that I will. Oh, speaking of tarot, the Eight of Cups really is what reminded me. There were two songs yesterday that I had mentioned that came through intuitively, and the first one I thought was Deborah Cox. It wasn't. It's by Shirley Murdoch, As We Lay. And then the second song, Open My Eyes That I May See, is, as I said, it's a song by a choir. I put both of them in the description box of yesterday's session, though, if you're interested or intrigued. Okay. Well, let's see what's going on today, what we need to know or focus on for session 59. Saying something about habits, something's habitual. That reminds me of the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is a card of discipline and, doing something consistently in such a way that you begin to master it. Okay, it's a number of like having nearly mastered something. Okay, but it starts by way of building a habit. That's also reminding me of, I don't know what the framework is for how long it takes to build a habit. Okay, maybe it's 30 days. Okay, maybe you've been consistent with something for 30 days, or you're trying to build a new habit. Maybe try it out for 30 days and your mind will begin to shift in terms of, what you think about it and how your skills related to it, okay? Some of you may be trying something new, going on a new journey. The Magician here at the bottom of the deck says that you're capable. There's some sense of new awareness here to create whatever it is that you're trying to create. The Magician is also an energy of doing anything and everything within one's power. Important language, within one's power, to make that thing happen. When we talk about power, then we have to talk about belief, because it is a matter of what do you believe is within your power. The Nine of Wands is somebody who's been wounded over and over and over again. It's like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of trying. I'm tired of failing. I'm tired of being shunned. I'm tired of being disrespected. I'm tired of this thing happening. It's like, do I have the energy to continue along this journey? Do I have the energy to continue to try? Well, Nine of Wands is also a encouragement to continue on that journey. Okay, it says that you do have a little more left in the tank, especially with that Magician there at the bottom of the deck. You do have more in the tank, although it may feel like you don't. This is a feeling. Sometimes our feelings lie to us. Nine of Wands is moon in Sagittarius. So some of you may be feeling like you can't expand, you can't grow, you cannot get past a certain point. I'm getting like the image of a video game. Okay, that could literally just be the example of what's happening here. Okay, maybe you just started playing in this new video game and you're like, what the heck? I can't get past this one point. You know, and I don't play video games currently, but I have previously in my past, and it is such a frustrating thing. It's like, what the heck? Like I keep, I got through those first 3 levels. This 4th level is kicking my butt. It's kicking my butt. Like, what do I need to do? What is the secret code? What, like, and I'm tired of just like falling off the cliff every time I try to jump over and beat the dragon or whatever the scenario is here, right? It's like feeling defeated, like it'll never happen. But it's possible here. Someone's losing hope, all right, with something that you've been doing. I feel like you've been doing it consistently. You know, the Eight of Pentacles is an energy of someone who has curated those 7 pentacles. It's like you've invested so much time, so much energy. You had a seed, you had a good idea, something that has grown. It grew from the Ace of Pentacles, not just on a whim. It grew because you put in the hard work, because you were disciplined, because you believed in that seed, right? And so there's a need to continue to tap into that belief. Maybe go back to the drawing board of why you started this thing in the first place. It's like, why did you buy that video game? Why are you playing it when it's frustrating you? What's frustrating you? Do you need to take a break from it and come back to it? You know, this moon energy says that there's a lack of clarity. But again, within that lack of clarity, like there's a lot of unknowns, right? But within that lack of clarity, we may not be seeing something in its truest state either. Again, our feelings are real in that we feel them in our body, and they have they exist because of whatever we've experienced, but that doesn't mean that they are true. And so something here needs to be fact checked in terms of how you're feeling and just processed, right? I feel like I'm a failure because I can't get past level 4. Well, are you a failure if you got through level 1, 2, and 3? You know, just really fact checking that. That doesn't mean that that feeling of a failure is not valid. However, the fact can sort of outweigh that feeling to make it more tolerable, right? To help you to process what it is that you're feeling, to bring that sense of hope back up to a place where you can continue to try it again. You know, typically in the Eight of Pentacles, we see someone who, again, has finished those 7 pentacles. They're working on that 8th pentacle. And maybe those 7 pentacles were the same. It was like, boom, bam, done. Okay, got it done. I knew how to do it. It was like clockwork. It was like nothing. Like I got those done in a day or two. But that 8th pentacle, it may require something different. Maybe it requires you to learn something different about yourself or about that particular pentacle, right? This is it's a thing of being disciplined, right? Which is Saturnian. And it represents us learning our limits, learning our boundaries, and learning how and when to push them, how and when they are pushed outside of us, and where to draw the lines. But it does help us to expand. Okay, you are expanding here. There's just lots of frustration that's happening in whatever habit you're trying to build or whatever it is you're trying to create. I'm not sure what this is about a habit in particular. All right, I feel like I kind of want to better understand that word. So let's go ahead to the Sense of Self Oracle deck and see what more insight we can get. Because it goes back to what you believe is within your power. Okay, we're talking about the balance of power, the power within us, oh gosh, and I have to go to your spiritual beliefs, because you know the Nine of Wands is someone who is spiritually bogged down. They're like, I just don't have it in me right now. But what are your spiritual beliefs? What do you believe in? What do you believe is your purpose? What do you believe is the meaning behind what you're putting energy into? I'm getting like somebody who's working out. Okay, that could be. Maybe you're trying to build a habit of being consistent in your yoga practice or whatever exercise or physical activity that you do, or a sport even. Okay, I just heard rugby. That's interesting. But it comes down to what you believe, right? And especially for those of us who have experienced trauma or have a history of complex trauma, the Nine of Wands is a card of trauma. And trauma rewires our brain. It rewires us to believe that we don't have a certain level of power, especially in abuse situations. All right. Let's see what else we can gain from the Sense of Self Oracle deck. So a reflection on your level of power. Okay, some habit that you're trying to build or something that you're trying to build and create for yourself here. Maybe feeling blocked, or like the universe is against you, or somebody's conspiring against you, you know, sort of in that victim mindset and mentality. It could be that there's some kind of, you know, negative energy that's attempting to come towards you, but if you believe within the depths of your being that you are meant to create something, or you are meant to be something bigger than what you are, that belief becomes more powerful than what that other person believes about you. We have card 1 here, which is the root chakra. Yeah, it speaks on safety, security. It's red energy, it's fire, it's passion. Build a foundation that creates safety and security for yourself. I was actually just talking to someone about security briefly not too long ago. And I've actually been on a journey myself of what security means, how to define it for me personally, outside of societal beliefs, outside of the beliefs that were instilled in me growing up, outside of the people that I love and am connected to and their beliefs. But what do I believe is security? What do I believe creates security? I've been on a journey over this past year specifically to define just that. What feels secure to me? What do I need? What do I need to feel secure? Spiritually, physically, financially. I'm hearing alternatively. Okay, yeah, alternative security. Some of you may be working to define that or figure out how to create security in an alternative way. This could be like starting a business or multiple lines of multiple streams of income. Okay, let's read from the book. Number 1, the root chakra, Muladhara, presents itself to you today as a reminder to remain grounded. The chakra speaks to your foundation, safety, security, and your method of survival. Some of you may be in survival mode. Okay, that's very different than thriving or being present, being in survival mode. And again, that is typically a trauma response. Pulling this card challenges your 6th sense to know and understand what direction to take toward a solid foundation. Your 5th sense to feel the earth, grass, sand, and water beneath your feet. 4th sense to taste the victory of your accomplishments. Your 3rd sense to smell the ocean, the leaves, and that fresh linen scent. It challenges your 2nd sense to hear the Lam chant associated with this chakra. And your 1st sense to truly see your future aspirations as possible. The root chakra reminds me of the decisions that we often make subconsciously because it contributes to our personal definition of normal. It represents the things that we need consistently to feel safe, or the things that we work to obtain so that we may feel a sense of safety. That obtain word is in here. So maybe what you need today is to obtain a sense of safety. What does that look like for you? What does safe mean? Are we going for a physical safety? Are we attempting to create a sense of safety in the nervous system, in the emotional space, right? Some reflection is required, especially with this moon energy here. Some reflection is required as we venture through the unknown. For you, maybe it's a 3-story home. For a child, it may be their favorite stuffed animal. For me, it will always be financial security and the maneuvering of my limbs. My life changed significantly when I sprained my ankle and learned the value of my foot, ankle, calf, knee, hamstring, hip, back. Who knew they were all connected? I lost my balance, or if you're up for the real story, someone in another realm shoved me, and I fell hard down one flight of stairs that consisted of one step. I was 3 months into healing from a traumatic incident that occurred in my home, and being forced to be there 24/7 without full ability in my limbs was a struggle, to say the least. Understanding how I may have taken this for granted was a significant life lesson for me. The ability to walk, run, jump, drive, and submit to purpose are necessary for me to feel safe and secure. So, what's necessary for you? It may be a feeling as opposed to a practical thing, right? Especially with this root chakra and the Nine of Wands showing up here. The root chakra, it speaks to safety, it speaks to security, it speaks to groundedness. But these are things that first we feel in our body, and then they become outward expressions. Something you're experiencing is challenging your sense of safety and security, your sense of willpower and belief. The question is why? And what do you need? Let's jump to our journal prompt. I feel the need too to say it's okay to humbly say, I don't know what I need. It's okay to not know. It's okay to explore that on your own, maybe with this journal prompt, or to explore that with someone that you trust, right? Maybe that's a trusted friend, family member, loved one of some sort, or a trusted professional even. It's okay to not know what we need, and again, to humbly express that. It is our responsibility to identify it, right? And so that's why we're here to call out this point of reflection. So the journal prompt I have for today: what do I need to obtain a sense of safety in my nervous system today? What do I need to obtain a sense of safety in my nervous system today? Something for us to reflect on. Truly tapping in and identifying what your body is saying when you're experiencing this Nine of Wands. Not just as an emotion, not just as I'm frustrated because. What is my body saying, and what does my body need? What does my brain need? Where can the boundary be drawn for myself or with another person, another party? I truly hope that something here did resonate with you and that you found it to be purposeful on your journey. If so, I hope you come back and join me sometime or connect with me in another way. Until next time, friends.